Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjano Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjano Jamunatira Bonachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Jamunatira Vanacharya Jamunatira Vanacharya Vanacharya Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Radha Madhava ki Sri Radha Giridhari ki Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajika Jaja Shodha His divine grace of I Jaranara Vinda Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Gaura Premanandi Vishnu Bharayan Krishna Stavidesh Vadi Bhati Varanta Sanadin Gauravani Pajarani Nivajeshvani Vari Pasyadhyadi Shatarani. You know, sometimes online you can buy these fake video cameras, security cameras. Yes. You put them out there. They're not real, but thieves think they're real. So I thought the microphone today, they just put it in front of me, but it's not turned on. So it's like just to encourage me to give class. But so, like that. Hare Krishna! Yeah. So this morning's class. Hare Krishna. That's much better. No, I don't. I'll have to ask the audience. For me, because my false ego is so big, the louder it is, the better. But our ears can only. Your ears could not tolerate the volume I require for my false ego, so we just have to tone it down a little bit. I think it's fine. It's good. So this morning's Bhagavatam class is the third canto. Chapter 27, there's two verses, 28 and 29. We'll chant 28 together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyadaya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, text 28. Mad Bhakta Pratibud Arto Mat prasadena bhuyasa Dashayasam swasamstanam Kaivalyakyam mad ashrayam Mad bhakta pratibudharto Mat prasadena bhuyasa Dashayasam swasamstanam Kaivalyakyam mad ashrayam Mad bhakta pratibud arto Mad prasadena bhuyasa Dashayasam swasamstanam Kaivalyakyam mad ashrayam. Please chant.
Kaivalyakyam mad ashrayam. Bhakta Pratibudharto Prasadena Bhuyasa Shreyasam Swasamstanam Kaivalyakyam Madashrayam Bhakta Pratibudharto Prasadena Bhuyasa Nishreyasam Swasamstanam Kaivalyakyam Madashrayam
Bhakta pratibudharto Mat prasadena bhuyasa Nashreyasam swastananam Kaivalyakyam madasrayam. Anyone else? Madbhakta pratibudharto Mat prasadena bhuyasa Nashreyasam swastanam Kaivalyakyam Arasrayam. Would you like to chant? Madbhakta pratibhudarto Madprasadena bhuyasa Sreyasam swastananam Kaivalyakyam Arasrayam. The next verse is Prapnoti hanjasa dhira swadrisha china samsaya yadgatvan anivartita yogi lingar vinirgame. So the synonyms for today's verse: madbhaktaha, my devotee; prati buddha arta, self-realized; matprasadena, by my causeless mercy; bhuyasaha, unlimited; nirashayasam, the ultimate perfectional goal; swasamstanam, his abode; kaivalya akyam, called kaivalya; mat ashrayam, under my protection. Okay, translation. My devotee actually becomes self-realized, by my unlimited causeless mercy. There it is, Prabhus. All in one line. There, my devotee actually becomes self-realized by my unlimited causeless mercy. And thus, when freed from all doubts, he steadily progresses toward his destined abode, which is directly under the protection of my spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. That is the ultimate perfectional goal of the living entity. After giving up the present material body, the mystic devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back to SanDiego. Just kind of personalizing it here. Please repeat. My devotee actually becomes self-realized by my unlimited causeless mercy. And thus, when freed from all doubts, he steadily progresses toward his destined abode, which is directly under the protection of my spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. That is the ultimate perfectional goal of the living entity. After giving up the present material body, the mystic devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Actual self-realization, it must mean there's some fake self-realization out there, but actual self-realization means becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The existence of a devotee implies the function of devotion and the object of devotion. Self-realization ultimately means to understand the personality of Godhead and the living entities, to know the individual self and the reciprocal exchanges of loving service between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity is real self-realization. This cannot be attained by the impersonalists or other transcendentalists. They cannot understand the science of devotional service. Devotional service is revealed to the pure devotee by the unlimited causeless mercy of the Lord. This is especially spoken of here by the Lord, mat prasadena, by my special grace. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Only those who engage in devotional service with love and faith receive the necessary intelligence from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that gradually and progressively they can advance to the abode of the Personality of Godhead. Nirshayasa means the ultimate destination. Swasamstana indicates that the impersonalists have no particular place to stay. The impersonalists sacrifice their individuality so that the living spark can merge into the impersonal effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord, but the devotee has a specific abode. The planets rest in the sunshine, but the sunshine itself has no particular resting place. When one reaches a particular planet, then he has a resting place. The spiritual sky, which is known as Kaivalya, is simply blissful light on all sides, and it is under protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, 27th verse, Brahmano hi patishtaham. The impersonal Brahman, effulgence, rests on the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Kaivalya, or impersonal Brahman. In that impersonal effulgence, there are spiritual planets which are known as Vaikunthas, chief of which is Krishna Loka. Some devotees are elevated to the Vaikuntha planets, and some are elevated to the planet Krishna Loka. According to the desire of the particular devotee, he is offered a particular abode which is known as Swa Samsthana, his desired destination. By the grace of the Lord, the self-realized devotee engaged in devotional service understands his destination even while in the material body. He therefore performs his devotional activities steadily without doubting, and after quitting his material body, he at once reaches the destination for which he has prepared himself. After reaching that abode, he never comes back to this material world. The words Lingad Vinirgame, which are used here, mean after being freed from the two kinds of material bodies, subtle and gross. The subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, false ego, and contaminated consciousness, and the gross body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When one is transferred to the spiritual world, he gives up both the subtle and gross bodies of this material world. He enters the spiritual sky in his pure spiritual body and is situated in one of the spiritual planets. Although the impersonalists also reach that spiritual sky after giving up the subtle and gross material bodies, they are not placed in the spiritual planets as they desire. They are allowed to merge into the spiritual effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord. The word Swa Samsthanam is also very significant. As a living entity prepares himself, so he attains his abode. The impersonal Brahman effulgence is offered to the impersonalists, but those who want to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its transcendental form as Narayan in the Vaikunthas, or with Krishna in Krishna Loka, go to those abodes wherefrom they never return. Umagyan Dimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksud Unminitam Dena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Banchika Patru Bhashya Kripa Sindhu Bevaja Patidanam Bhavani Bhu Vaishnavi Bhu Namaha. So, Vida Prabhu and Rajendrananda, do I have permission to continue? Thank you. You know, this is what you call a feast plate purport. There's a lot on this plate. So, this first paragraph is referring to 2 verses I'm familiar with in the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, the most obvious one is taken from the Gita Chaturshloki from Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Te sam satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. We'll read the next one also. Te sam evanokam partam hamagyana jamtama nasayam yatma bhava sto gyana dipena basvataha. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. And Prabhu is making the point here that this first line of the translation, my devotee actually becomes self-realized by my unlimited causeless mercy, and thus he's freed from all doubts, and he steadily progresses towards his destined abode. Another verse here in the 18th chapter, which I was very fond of. Here it is. Machchita savardurgani matprasara tarishasi. Atachet tvam ahankaran nashoshasi minangshasi. It's the first part of this. if you become conscious of me, Krishna speaking to Arjuna, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. So it's mat prasada tarishasi. Then there's the other side. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So this mat chitta sarva durgani, mat prasada tarishasi. So Krishna is making the same statement here. If you become conscious of me, then you'll pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace, by my prasad. So this prasad, prasadena, mat prasadena, by my special grace. So it's very important to understand that we do not become you could say, our Krishna consciousness is not dependent on our own rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. You got to do that, but Krishna is the one, His grace, His kindness, His mercy. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati gotopi. We sing that every morning. Do you know what that means yet?
Guru is not doing much, then no hope.
Yes. Yasya prasada. In other words, you get the mercy of Krishna by pleasing the spiritual master. Like that. So Krishna's mercy, how does it come to us? That's the point. It comes to the spiritual master, to the devotees. So that's where we get it. But that's that grace, that kindness, that mercy, that being pleased with our service, that's how we make our advancement. Like that. And you can't storm the gates of heaven. You just, it doesn't matter how high we jump at Mangalartik, right? Sometimes we think when we begin Krishna consciousness, we think, we're doing it. We're the doer. But even in devotional service, we have to give that up. We're not the doer. And our advancement in Krishna consciousness is based upon Krishna just being very pleased with our sincere effort. Because whatever we do, how significant is it for Krishna? How significant is it for Krishna? An example sometimes given, just a young child will sometimes make a little, someday so many parents, you see, they always save these, especially the mother. She always saves the first stick picture the kid makes in like first grade, or right? Little stick picture of mom and dad in the house, little smoke coming out of the chimney, maybe, they always save those. The first little picture that the kid brings home of, this is my home, my mom and dad, right? So from the artistic point of view, what is that? Right? It's a little stick figure like that. Doesn't look anything like mom and dad, right? Doesn't look anything like the house. The dog looks deformed, right? And you have no chimney on your house, but still there's a chimney. So what is all of that? But still, why do they save it 30, 40, 50 years later? Why do they hold on to it? Because of the affection, right? The affection. So what is a child doing? It's actually expressing love and affection. So the same thing, what service can we do that will, significant in Krishna's eyes? One way to look at it, of course, Krishna is very, very happy whatever we do, exceptionally happy. But still, what are we doing? The real thing is just our devotion, our bhakti. That is what captures Krishna's attention. Like that. Just like the example, we can say, if we made the whole world Krishna conscious. When the conversation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was saying the universe is like a one mustard seed in a bag of mustard seeds, right? So Kevin goes, I need some mustard seeds. I need some mustard seeds, right? And you, Audrey, you bring him one mustard seed. What's Kevin going to say? Kevin, what are you going to say? Don't ask. Close your ears, everyone. We're not supposed to hear these kind of words, right? It's one mustard seed. What is it? Right? We're thinking, you know what I had to do to get this mustard seed? But from the point of view of a whole bag of mustard, what is it? Like that. So it's our devotional attitude that attracts Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would say, don't try to go see Krishna, but act in a way where Krishna wants to see you. Right? Can't storm the gates. Krishna will come to you when is such a nice devotee. And he's recommended. See, that's the whole thing too. You have to be recommended to Krishna by his other devotees, by the spiritual master and other devotees. It's not like, hey, look at me. Hey, I'm out here. All right, well, look at me. That's not it. It's not going to happen. But when someone says, here's Tapas. He's such a nice devotee. Like that, right? That's what's going to happen. So we have to act in such a way with other devotees. Oh, very nice. A nice example is that Kala Krishna Das. He was the one who was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in South India. Is it yeah? Kala Krishna? Kala Krishna Das, right? He made a mistake. Kind of got sidetracked. I won't go into the details. But when they got back to Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you can do anything you want with him, just take him. It was embarrassment. But the devotees were so kind, even though rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees were so kind, they immediately engaged him in going all the way to Mayapur and telling everyone in Mayapur, what a wonderful service, to go to Mayapur and tell all the devotees that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was back, finally, from his long tour of South India. What good news. So they're very, very, very kind. So devotees are very, very kind to, even Krishna may turn the other way, but the devotees are very, very kind. So that's one example of that. So the devotees will always act in such a way where the devotees will recommend us to Krishna. That should be our goal in life. Another thing here is that when freed from all doubts, that's brought up in the verse and also in the purport. So that's a sign of that we receive the mercy of Krishna. Because it says here in this verse, this jnana dipena, the lamp of knowledge goes on. There's a saying, Bhadrinarayan Maharaj has, there's a saying about, you look at someone and maybe the lights are out upstairs. You hear that expression? Like someone's got this, they're not too sharp or something like that. The lights are out upstairs or something, right? Like that. Okay, well this one the lights are out. So someone's home but the lights are out. So the light goes on in the heart. Krishna's saying here, jnana dipena bhaspata. Like that. I light up their heart with this knowledge. This is what is the previous one here? I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Buddhi. So when one is filled with buddhi and filled with light, there's no doubts. Doubts means darkness, right? Just like sometimes you go up to the ashram here, if they got all the lights out this time of year, it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, you feel along the wall till you get a light switch, right? No, you can't see a thing. So when the light goes on, so doubts, And it's only the devotee, only the transcendentalists can actually live a life free from doubt, because it's not that the materialists don't have any doubts. Every day they're doubting. Am I going to have my job when I get there? Does she love me? Does he love me? Like that. What's going to happen? This, it's just because of ignorance. We don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes. We actually don't know what's going to happen in 1 second. Right? This is class. One Maharaj was giving, and he was telling the story. It was a sannyasi, and this was a few years ago. He was in the Beirut airport. No, he was in Italy. And just getting ready to catch a flight to Israel or something like that. And all of a sudden 3 or 4 terrorists came up, completely nicely dressed, started rolling grenades underneath everyone. And then within 1 second, there's bodies flying everywhere, screaming, yeah. And he's just saying how 1 second everyone's talking. You've all been to airports in the lounge, just talking, waiting for their flight and watching the sports and then 1 second, he was shocked, it's like, wow. And that revelation obviously has stayed with him for decades. Just in 1 second, how everything can change. So people doubt. And even today now, you're, this shooting, that shooting, people wanting. I just saw some big billboard about a big concert in Vegas. I was thinking, what people think when they see that billboard? It's like, wait a second. Didn't they just have a big shooting at a concert in Vegas? I'm not going. Said, all are welcome. It's some billboard here in PB or something, some ET, some Vegas, I don't know. You going? Okay. So, but it's very fearful. Can't happen to me. But in the back of the mind, schools, this, that, just like everywhere you turn around, it's like this. So everyone's very doubtful about their future, but the devotees are free from all doubts because of Krishna's causeless mercy, because Krishna's opened their eyes. And it says here that the devotee in the purport, he knows where he's going. Probably very near the end there, even in this body. Some people say, well, when it all's over at time of death, then you finally find out. You get the envelope. Krishna. Okay, this is where you're going. And it's interesting too, is Krishna's not choosing. It's like, we got a shortage of devotees on this Vaikuntha planet, would you mind going there? But I was kind of worshiping, no, we kind of need you in Ayodhya Loka, No, wherever you want to go. Wherever, Krishna's saying, wherever you want to go, there's plenty of room. Just let me know, I'll buy the ticket. I'll get the ticket for you. So Krishna's so kind. And that cultivation is going on in this lifetime. By worshiping the Transcendental Lordship, Sri Sri Radha Giridhari, we're going there. That's our destination. Like that. So devotees can choose where they want to go. They have a particular affinity for a particular form of the Lord. And they're very, very secure because the revelation is there. There's someone, Mahabharata was saying the other day, he heard a lecture, and the people were saying, how do you know? How do you know there's God or this or that? And I think the example was about maybe eating something. I said, oh, this is the best pumpkin pie Kevin has ever made. Well, how do you know? Well, how can I explain that to you? Unless you eat some also, right? You got to taste it yourself. You say, no, I want to know before I taste it. So there's some things, how do you know? You got to experience it yourself. So spiritual life is like that. People go, how do you know? How do you know Krishna consciousness is the cat's meow, the best thing out there, right? How do you know? I can't explain it to you. There are some things even in this life, in this day-to-day life, you have to experience it, right? So the devotee knows because Krishna in the heart is revealing. That's revelation. That's what we're looking for. We're not book knowledge. That won't help. This is a lecture yesterday. Prabhu said, just going to the store and buying a book and reading it, that will not help. You have to practice Krishna consciousness. You have to get the association and mercy of the devotees. Just buying the book. He said, just like if you buy a book on becoming a doctor. You can't just read a book and become a doctor. You have to go to the school. He said, you have to go to the ashram. You have to go to the school. You have to take instruction. You have to take the exam. Then you're a doctor. Like that. So, why? Because when we engage in devotional service, Krishna is pleased, and the revelation comes. The revelation comes. It's all it's true. It's truer than anything else we can possibly. It's truer than anything in this material world. Because the truth of this material world is one analogy given. You ever see a dog with the tail is always curled? What happens if you go like this and try to straighten it out? Boing, goes back. So it just keeps. So this material, actually the example is given if you're swimming and there's a dog goes by and you grab onto that tail. Do you think that dog can help you? Probably turn around and bite you. He's trying to get out just as fast as you are. So thinking that, this material world will really make me happy is like grabbing on the tail of a dog and thinking he'll carry you out. No, it doesn't. Nothing will happen. So, and Prabhupada spends some time talking about the impersonalists. They're just, at best, they can merge into the Brahman. He says it's very unfortunate here. He gives a point. He says they actually sacrifice their individuality just to merge. It's not, I don't know if I get Vimukti Manina. That verse says they think they're liberated. So I don't know if it's a mental adjustment or what, maybe something higher, but they actually pretend or whatever, try to erase the idea that they're persons so they can merge into the Brahman. And they go there. But the point is, what is it? The Sanskrit is nivartante. Gyatva na nivarteta, says here. In Bhagavad Gita it says Gyatva mam. What is that? Gyatva mam? What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? No. The same thing about mad bhakta, right? My abode, mad dhamma. You don't come back. Once going there, you don't come back. Well, it's interesting. The personalists do come back, right? They do come back. They fall back down. Prabhupada gives the example is flying in an airplane. You can go up, or the astronauts even. The Russian astronaut. Oh, my Moscow. Prabhupada gives that example. The first cosmonaut went up, and he made the point when he came down in press conferences that he was simply thinking, there is my Moscow. There is my Moscow. He's looking out the window, as he's going around like that. So you have to come down. You can't stay there. You can't stay up there forever. You got to, even these people in the space station, right? They got to come back down after some time. There's no secure abode, but the devotee has a secure abode. He's actually going to one of the transcendental planets, and it says here that those planets are directly under the protection of Krishna's spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. Right? No taxes, no whatever, nothing like that. Just bliss, just pastimes with Krishna. That's his neighborhood, like that. That's the blissful neighborhood, like that. So this is the devotee's good fortune and destination, and these things are brought up here. I think the most important thing is understanding that Krishna is very, very kind. He's attracted to our bhakti, our pure bhakti. When we are recommended by other devotees, we never go directly to Krishna, and he enlightens us from within. That's what we're asking for, and that enlightenment comes, and it is so. It's revelation, so it's not just book knowledge. I remember that people sometimes ask, because you had so much associated with Prabhupada, but I saw him once in Philadelphia giving a class. It was interesting because the old Philadelphia temple, it's just a house, and there's so many devotees in that house. I think you even read what's Prabhu's name? Rabindranath Sarup. He was afraid the building was going to collapse. So many devotees in it. But there was not enough room in the temple room, so we were in a room across the hall. There was a speaker, and the speaker broke. So what do? You run out of the room as fast as you can and squeeze as many heads into the door. And there were all these devotees, with their heads squeezed in the door, and every single window, all these devotees with their heads in the window, just trying to hear Prabhupada. But what I remember is watching Prabhupada and hearing him speak, everything he said, he had full realization of. Like, immediately I realized that. It came to me. And there's that famous, it's been reprinted in Back to God and so on. It's a lecture of Prabhupada. At one point I remember he's talked about the carrot in front of the horse or the donkey. And he said, that donkey can go on forever after that carrot. He said, forever, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. But whatever Prabhupada said, it was every word was laden with complete realization. I can say the same thing, but there's no realization. There's a full realization. So what is Krishna in the heart? It's all that's what happens, and that's our natural state. It's not some like that. Our natural state is to actually live in full freedom from doubt and full consciousness of reality. And they call it dumbing down. We've been dumbed down by coverings of all the material nature and like that, until the point where we don't even know what's left or right. Isn't that amazing? It's like having a paper bag on our head. Can you imagine that? Ryan, if you did that today, I don't recommend it because we have so many guests coming to the temple, but if you just go get a Trader Joe's bag and put it over your head all day long, it's a little difficult getting around, right? So that's what it's like. Compared to what we should be experiencing, we're walking around with these big paper bags on our head. We don't know what's up or down. Like that. So I don't want to end the class on that graphic, but it's a nice one. Just understand, make us humble. So it's 8:30. I probably should end here. There's a lot of probably conversation on this feast purport. I'll open up, please. Anything I said wrong or want to enlighten us?
Just one question. There's so many verses like this, and it's clear that it says, exclusively after giving up the person to the body, the mystic devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back. But then we hear, specifically Krishna book comes to mind, and I heard Prabhupada in the lecture, well, when the devotee leaves his body, he goes to that place in the material world where Krishna is appearing now, and he continues his training and then he goes back.
Yes.
So, is there some contradiction? Some say that it says here it goes directly back, never to return, directly to the Sanskrit, if you're on the road. So there's some devotees that go straight back, and some get further training.
Only if you have developed Krishna prema that you go directly to the spiritual world. Bhagavatam Sanatana Goswami makes it really clear that those who have knowledge realize that there's no difference in born and begotten and Devotees.
Yeah.
It's the same thing to say you go back after this one life, going to go into
So it's the same.
Yeah, that's what I would answer. What's the difference? Yeah. Yes.
You can see little baby Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? Ryan, you got something controversial to bring up?
Yeah.
Good.
Hare Krishna. So I've heard in lecture for ISKCON sannyasis say that Krishna's younger forms, his childhood forms, are only manifest in Boma Vrindavan. I've heard other ISKCON sannyasis say that they're manifest in the spiritual world also, which seems more logical to me, because if Mother Yashoda, if her vow with Krishna is that he's a little child, then she has to come in the material world to serve him in that way. Like, she can't serve him in the spiritual world that way. So anyway, what's your understanding of this issue?
That's Dravida. I'll defer to Dravida.
That person was asked directly about he's in this eternal Kishore form there, but the rasas are there in the age of Kishore. The course of Kishore is like the adolescent age, 14, 15. And but that parental rasa is certainly there. So Mother Yashoda sees him that way, she regards him that way. You get some of that even in Goma pastimes when she meets him in Kurukshetra. You know, after all those years, he still looks 20 years old, but she has that attitude. She takes him on the lap, you know, and she's crying. So so she still has that regard, and you can still have that rasa there, but he doesnn't grow up. He doesn't take birth. There's no birth. So how's it Dharmasetu? He doesn't grow up there with the eternal form, that idea of form. Where all the rasas can be engaged.
Couldn't Krishna exist in all his forms simultaneously in the spiritual realm?
I'm just telling you, this is what I've heard. And what do I know? In fact, it's directly after Prabhu.
Prabhu quoted Srila Prabhupada in the purports of Brahma Samhita about Thakur quotes Shiva Goswami, where he says that the different ages are manifest only in the realm of Vrindavan. And the uniqueness, or it's inconceivable, but in Bhagavatam once again, it's stated that any devotee with whatever particular relationship they have with Krishna, they will see the Lord in that way. They even get so far out as like, all the different species, so many species are there in Vaikuntha, and they will see the Lord in that form that captures their consciousness and their love in a particular species, and they go up there. And so when they see Narayan, they see the Lord in the form of a horse or the form of and so you're asking more about the five primary processes, it sounds like. So they all see the Lord as their heart.
Yeah. And it's kind of a sidelight to that, but there's a conversation I read recently in Bhagavatam where Gopakumar asked Narada Muni, wherever I go, you're there. That's how the conversation. So it's kind of interesting. You know, I've been on this trip. You know, chanting. You always see the Shiva Loka, Brahma Loka, Vaikuntha. You know, Hanuman. You're always there. What's going on here? And Narada Muni was making the point that the eternal associates of the Lord, they can expand themselves unlimitedly. Then it gets a whole conversation that just like Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj or Vasudeva and Devaki, you know, the different births like Drona and this and that, those are expansions of them in this world, but they merge with those expansions when Krishna appears here, and they're simultaneously here and everywhere with Krishna. So it's not really like you can say here and there. It's a whole different dimension. So those devotees are experiencing multiple places at the same time, and they're with Krishna here and there, and it's quite dynamic for the soul. It's not that Krishna can just expand himself, but the devotees can expand themselves and simultaneously be enjoying with Krishna, which seems to be in different places. That's what Narada Muni was telling him. So it's quite exciting.
A lot of new information.
Yes.
I was thinking of a house of mirrors, but
It's beyond that. We can be sure, though, that wherever we land up with Krishna, we'll be more than happy. No one's going to